Hi, my name is Cowley Smyth and I'm a Vice President with the APCO Group. I'm going to be speaking to you today about a topic that's on the Cycle of Development 3+, and that's understanding the cycles of the business. I think the most important thing to understand is it takes time to get good at the business. There's 3 different areas that you would need to learn. The key thing obviously first is learning sales. The next part of that is learning how to teach someone how to sell, and the third part of that is obviously then teaching someone how to actually teach. This area probably covers the last 2 stages of that. Initially, to get promoted to leadership, you've learned the sales side, and then you would move on to teaching sales and then teaching someone how to teach. Okay, so the first point I have is not to base your confidence on the results that you're getting. What's going to happen is that your results will also always go up and down. So if you base your results on your confidence, you will feel unbalanced. And it is part of the cycle of leadership that sometimes things will be incredible and sometimes things will be much more of a challenge to you. So what you need to do is you need to base your confidence on your strengths. What most people do is they get their strengths confused with skills. A strength is something that you would have, something that you're born with, a core character, a core value about yourself. So that could be something like empathy, that could be something like compassion, it could be competitiveness, that could be something like determination. And that is a strength. And you've got to remind yourself when you're going through a challenge what your strengths are. What a lot of people do is they look at their skill set and go, well, I'm not very good at retraining, I'm not very good at developing somebody. You shouldn't look at it like that, because that is a skill, and a skill can really be learnt over time. And if you think about it, you wouldn't be born with the skill of being able to retrain. Given enough time and practice, anybody can learn how to retrain, and that is one of the cycles of going through the business as well. Skills take time to develop. So it's important to realise that. Most of us didn't start out being able to do things immediately. Think of it as like learning how to drive a car. I certainly didn't get in a car for the first time and be able to manoeuvre the clutch and the accelerator correctly at the same time. That took patience from somebody coaching me, that took effort from me, it took practice from me, it took time from me to learn that skill. So after a period of time I got good enough to be able to go and sit my licence and pass to be able to drive to a certain level. Being on the cycle of development is the same thing. It will take you time to increase those skill levels, and what a lot of people do is they get too frustrated because they base it on results for that reason, as I've already said. So what's going to happen to you is you're going to end up in a situation where the cycle will be that you go up to 10 guys. You will automatically drop back to 6 guys. You'll go up again, to 12 guys. You'll come back to 8 guys. And just understand that is a cycle, that what will happen in that development through to crew leadership onto stage 4, that's a process that you need to go through. That process, though, is going to involve challenges. It's going to involve some ups. Those up times are going to be, extremely easy. And you're going to love it, and you're going to think you're the king of the world and everything's going to be beautiful. There's also going to be times, though, where there's going to be some challenges. And I want to give you a couple of tips on some things to do, when you're coming up against those challenges, because that's the important part of the process. How you react to the challenges will determine your success. When it's easy, you don't feel challenged, you're just enjoying the ride. So how you react to that challenge will be vital. So here's a few things that I would recommend that you do. The first thing is this: look for good mentors around you. Look for someone that's already succeeding. Look for someone that you can develop a relationship with, a great business relationship that can mentor, and assist you through that. Go get a retrain if necessary. Go watch somebody else take out observations. Go watch somebody else, take a new person in the field on the very first day. Get yourself in a situation also where you're using logic. Sometimes we become too emotional about the fact that we may have lost a guy or the results aren't as good as what we want them to be. Use logic. Remember, go back, look at your strengths, your core values and your strengths, and take your confidence from your work ethic and from your strength, not from the skill. The skill will get better over time as you practice it. And it's important to understand and use logic in that situation, and that'll help you through the challenges as well. Look for solutions when you're going through that challenge. Don't complain, don't feel sorry for yourself. Look for a solution that you can chase and you can find when you're in that challenging spot. It's a really, really important thing to do, and you can train yourself as a skill to be a solution finder. And just on a final point, building and learning how to retrain and go through the 3+ stage of the cycle of development is not difficult, but it will take practice, it will take time, and I think that's probably one of the most important things for you to understand in the cycle of the business, and just reminding yourself to always go back to those core strengths that you have, and then practice and work on the skills, and ultimately you'll get there and enjoy the ride at the same time.